We're good, Michelle. It just alerted me.
Okay. I'll leave it connected just in case, but
okay.
They're almost done, so I'll be driving home in a little bit, but I will sit here for a little bit and let people in.
Okay, thanks.
All right, thank you.
Good evening, Mayor.
I wouldn't let me unmute. I was struggling there. Good evening.
I know, I was having the time too.
Well, it had alerted me about the meeting, so it was in my way. That's why I couldn't get to it. I was like, go away, I can't get there. So.
You doing good?
Yep, I was hoping to have an answer by tonight. She's been trying to get everybody on the board. My friend in Chicago. The board, they're all like they're all coming from all different walks of life on that board and trying to get them all on the same page. And so I had given her the April date way out, and I re-asked her again today, and she said, I think so, but I'm still checking with a couple more. So
okay. Well, we're good whenever we can.
Well, I gave her a time on that one of a 5:30 our time, thinking we might have a lot of questions on that.
Need more time? Okay.
I'm thinking that, don't you, with that? At least that's what I gave her, and we'll see what she says. She might say that she doesn't think, but I think we'll have a lot of questions, and just with what they're presenting, I kind of thought it would probably be better so we have time for public comment at the end and stuff to do it at 5:30.
Okay. All right.
But I'm waiting to see if she can confirm it. So I was hoping I was going to make sure. That's why I was asking today to try to get a final answer, but she thought so, but she didn't want to completely confirm it yet. So.
Well, if she can't do it, then we'll work on doing it another time. So at our May meeting.
Mm-hmm.
That is wonderful. We're looking forward to it. But we also have some other people that want to come in, help us and speak for us, give us some more information about the mental health of individuals.
Mm-hmm.
It's good. We have some challenges before us.
Yes.
That's a good thing. Yes, absolutely a good thing. So how's your family?
Good. My son was very happy that it was nice out today because it's his day off work, and he likes to run and be outside if it's nice and he likes the warmth.
Oh, yeah.
He's very skinny and small, and he's freezing all the time. So he's thrilled if it can be warm out, and he loves to run. He runs by your house a lot, but he loves to run. So he was so happy. He's like, I'm going for a run when his class ended today. And I said, okay.
Oh,
So
good. That's good. I'm glad he's enjoying the weather because it's been beautiful. The sun shining.
Yeah, well, he had looked ahead and said it wasn't supposed to be nice next week. So that's, well, it was, I think 50s, but that's not nice for him. So I think that's
he wants it warmer. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I'll take the 50s too.
Me too. I'll take any of it. I'll take all the sunshine we've had.
Yes.
I mean, we've not had this much sunshine in the spring in a long time. Like my daughter and I were talking today via text. I was driving her home from school a year ago today, and knowing that everything was starting to shut down and the school had said get home, and so I rushed out to grab her, and we were driving and we couldn't stop anywhere because nothing was open. And we were saying it was hard to believe that was a year ago, but it was kind of chilly, that like a lot colder than it is now. And her and I both remember, because she got here, how cloudy it was all the time, and we've actually had quite a bit of sun. So
yeah,
let's hope it continues. I'll be happy with that.
Yeah, it will. We will. So who else do we have on now? Hello everyone. Dylan. Okay, Commissioner Barron. It's good to have you with us.
Dylan, I'm going to see the video worked fine. It was just very quiet, which I don't know why. And it might have just been my iPad. So I'm going to try to pump it on my end, because I can usually do that to make it work, because it came through beautifully. Okay. So I'm going to try to actually work on that. I'm actually going to see my daughters, and it's a long drive this weekend. So I'm going to actually try to put that video together while I'm driving. So, gotcha. I mean, because I'm not personally driving. I'm a passenger.
Okay.
I hope you aren't just...
Yes. No, I couldn't do that.
No. That's a no-no. Yeah. Yes, that's a no-no. Absolutely. So we're just waiting for people to come on. And sorry, Dylan, you missed the event we had. It turned out really, really good. I've been getting some good reviews on it. And some of the people that were on were very pleased with the information. And that's what I'm excited about, getting that information out to the community. Right. Now, wasn't the chief of police on, Mayor?
Yes.
Okay. Did you hear back from him? I haven't had a chance.
Well, I've run into him a few times, but it's been a very fast, or like last night we had a meeting, and so I couldn't really talk to him in the middle of it. And he was presenting at it. But I did just very quickly talk to him the other day, and he just said that was really good, but that's like as far as it went. I do know though that our financial officer there at City Hall, Nathan Owen, he is our financial director. Sorry, his wife is one of them that spoke. Because he talked to me after our meeting last night. We had a budget meeting, so he had to stay for the whole budget meeting. And at the end, he goes, by the way, I don't know if you know this, but my wife was on that. And I said, I wondered, because I saw the last name. And he was just saying that she was just really, they were really excited, and they really were so happy to get the word out and make those connections and be more in the community. And they were just really excited about it. He was telling me that last night. So
good. You know, the positive part of this is getting the information to people and getting the voices out that actually have the information, rather than us trying to guess it or trying to figure it out or look around and don't see what we need to see, or, it's so much better when the people that actually are responsible for those areas are communicating with us. So I'm very excited about that, and they did an excellent job. They really did.
Yes, I thought so too. And like I said, I was screenshotting like crazy.
During she sent it to you. Didn't you get that?
But I'm doing it during, not knowing she was going to do that, but I was very very excited, and I mean, I just learned a lot through it. So
right. All right, Commissioner Harvette, glad to see you. Glad to have you.
Sister Pat, now how long have they said you guys have to stay in quarantine? I heard it got extended again. How long is it?
June 30th, I think.
Okay.
Yeah. Because of the spike in Michigan, you know, and
it's really spiking. Yes, yes. But I don't know if our area is. I was looking at some of the stats here last week, but I haven't had an update.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
County.
I have a call in the morning with the county health department and the governor's office and all of that. So I'm sure they're going to be discussing the spike, and if it's, you know, how much is our area, that's what those calls are about. So I'm curious to see how that goes tomorrow. So
well, I'm just glad they're working on trying to change the dynamics of it. You know, we really need to make this go away as best we can. What part we play matters.
Michelle's gonna have to step away for a little bit, so I'm actually co-host of this. She's in between areas. She's trying to do double duty here, so I'm also co-host. So just so you know.
Okay. Well, we shouldn't have too much that we would have you have to technically do too much. Just some of the normal things. Commissioner Harvat, did you get good? Anyone else was on the meeting, the forum with us?
The mental health. We had two. I think there were two sisters that came on. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did they give you any feedback?
Yeah, they thought it was very fine. They learned a lot. I'd like to get those slides. I hope we can get them.
Well, she sent it to me. I thought she had reached out to all of us, but I will definitely forward it.
Yeah, I really would. I'd like to share that with the sisters because it was good.
Yeah.
And then, you know, last night I was on the library. They invited me to do that talk that I didn't do before.
Yes, I missed it. I was supposed to be on. Yes.
It was very good. Went for about an hour and a half, and Sister Leonore was on with me. And of course, I talked about all of us and our beginnings, you know, our little ragtag group in 2017. I said I had no clue what I was doing, but I said,
well, you have experience that you didn't even recognize you had.
I guess so.
Just it's transitioning to the public connection.
Yeah. Then I said, they asked me to be on the commission. I said, it's another whole world.
It is. Well, our time is 6:01, so I'm going to call the meeting to order at this time, and we're going to it's 6:01, and we're going to stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. No, I'm sorry, we're not doing the pledge until the regular meeting. So I'm going to open the meeting for the roll call. And if we don't have our Secretary Pro Tem, is she on?
Yeah, I'm here.
She's here. Right. She's going to stand in today. Lindsay Patton, Commissioner Patton, is not able to be here with us tonight. So we can go with the roll call for the pre-meeting.
With Mayor Heath.
Present.
Commissioner Bernard.
Present.
Commissioner Ramos.
Present.
Commissioner Patton is absent.
She's excused.
Commissioner Frank is here. Commissioner Boone.
He just joined, so probably he's connecting right now. So give him a second.
Here.
Okay. It is under the wire. Commissioner Carter.
Present.
You skipped one.
Commissioner Barron. And Commissioner Harvat.
Present.
So good to have all of you here. Did you all receive the minutes to the pre-meeting? And if you have any questions or comments on that, we won't vote on them until the regular meeting, but did you have any corrections or additions to that? Okay, well, we will vote on the minutes at the regular meeting. So we'll go into our town hall, which we had on March the 18th. And it was a really wonderful event. We were very pleased to have our director, Kathleen, and her staff from Lenawee Mental Health Department. And we just were so excited about having them. They did a great presentation, and I'd like to hear from whoever would like to speak about their response to the town hall meeting. Do you think it was worth it?
Well, very much so. I think it was worth it, especially to hear about the mobile recovery unit, you know, and I think we had good suggestions that we offered as far as where to place that unit. So it's in strategic points where people would be passing by that would be in need. So it's a wonderful thing to have. And then I think
you want to mention the places that we were talking about having in the city?
The food pantry, definitely. Catherine Cobb, Maumee Street. Those are the three big ones, you know, where the East End really is where it should be.
And close to the shelter was one of them.
Oh, yeah, in the shelter.
The park area.
Right.
That's a great idea because of the traffic that comes.
Right, because of the traffic, the people that would be, you know, going into those places that might need help.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That was a really wonderful suggestion. And I know they were glad to hear from us.
Yeah, they were. And our idea about where to advertise, you know, so that people know. Because, you know, like Mayor Heath, I think that was a good point. You have an autistic child, you wouldn't necessarily know that those services were available. So, you know, how do they publicize? And in Spanish, to do that in Spanish was very important.
Did anyone else have any comments they'd like to share with us about people talking with you that were maybe on the discussion?
This is Commissioner Boone. I was just wanting to say that I think that the opportunity for them to connect for a possible collaboration was really good, because I think that a lot of times there's a lot of information out there and resources that's not made known to the general population. So by having that, it gave that opportunity for those connections and for that reach out. So I thought it was really, really good. And I learned a lot about what's taking place within a community that I wasn't aware of that was going on. So just to have that information so that I can share it within the community, within especially Paris Park community, that I know that they really can use some of those resources. That's just I just wasn't aware of. So
great. Does anyone else have something they'd like to share?
Well, and I think that their willingness, like they're wanting to work with us to get more out there and get the word out there. And immediate response when I had asked about her meeting with, you know, local pastors, because that's another great way to connect to another, you know, group of people, because a lot of them lead share the warmth groups or, you know, different services. I know a lot of churches volunteer in the food pantries, you know, there's areas like that where they have another reach to people through their churches as well. So she was very immediately jumped at that chance and we've already set it up for her to make that connection as well, Catherine, with that group of people. And I'd like to see that be even more widespread, like find other ways as well, like other agencies or groups that we can connect them with too, to get that out there as well. Not just through the church, because we have a large population that doesn't, you know, possibly go to church. And so we need to reach them as well. But I just feel that was a really good way. And she's been very willing to work with them. Just like I just said, just because they do a lot of volunteering in those areas where those services might be needed and they don't know about it. And so if those church groups know about it going in, they can spread that word as well. It's great word of mouth.
Yeah, we also talked about the migrant outreach as well. So that is something that I think we're going to be trying to solicit some assistance with. So if you know anyone that's interested in giving her resources from us or from the community, I'd appreciate you all reaching out to me or to her or to the mayor and let her know. And
I attend all the Migrant Resource Council meetings, and Commissioner Gauss, who's on this call right now, typically does as well. So we have that connection, and I'm at all of those meetings as well. So I can connect those two groups immediately without a problem.
That's wonderful. That's wonderful. So do I hear anyone else's comments? Do you have any more on the?
I have a question.
Yes.
I don't know if you guys talked about it beforehand, but I went to go watch
We can't hardly hear you.
Can you hear me now?
Better.
Is it better?
Yeah.
Okay. I went to go watch the video and it's not up like our police forum was up on the city website. So I couldn't find it. I actually was in Battle Creek that day getting my COVID shot. So I wasn't able to watch it. I was just wondering.
I think Michelle is working on that, and because there's other people that would like to see it. So we're working to get that done. So as soon as we can, we'll let you know that it's up and running. All right. Okay. So anyone else would like to speak on that? If not, I'll tell you a few of the people that came on that I had invited to participate. Some were social workers, some were community leaders that actually thought that they even learned something, and they were really excited about the presentation that was done. Jeanette Hennigan, who is the she's the NAACP chair. She said she's seen it before, but she did learn something from this presentation. So I think sometimes we need to go back and review things, even if we've heard it before, because there's some new things that have happened since the COVID has hit our community. And one other thing I don't think she talked much about, but has been put in our community, is there's 2 psychiatrists that are working at the new hospital. So that was something that she shared with us on the phone, Commissioner Harvett, that she didn't really talk about at the meeting, but it's good to know that there is someone there that we can actually lean on. So for overall, I think it was good. So do you think we need to have a follow-up town hall with this subject, or do we want to do the next one? Well, we can talk about that, but thinking mostly about the mental health, do you think we need a follow-up town hall meeting, or just have them come to a pre-meeting? What's your thinking?
I guess my thought would be that since they did already do that presentation and all that, like anybody else that we want to meet, unless it was going to be like a completely different, I don't know. I just feel like maybe just pre-meeting would be to have someone come present, because I feel like I don't want to turn, this is why I'm saying that, I don't want to turn the public away, like, oh, they're just going to keep redoing the same things. Like I feel like a lot of the public was very excited. They were very excited about the, bridging the divide. Honestly, there was a lot of students on that call. They were very excited about that. A lot of students that are going into criminal justice. And I got a lot of feedback about that one. And this one I've been getting feedback already on too, and they just were very excited, and it's something new, and these are things that they know that they need to be addressed, and there's a need and a want in our community. But I feel like if we could just keep plugging along with all of the needs, like I know we have housing needs, and maybe that's where we go next. I don't know. I'm just saying I feel like if we can keep it unique and different and interesting, let's keep the public involved, because I've been very excited by how many of the public are actually attending and getting involved and asking those questions. Like I was really excited on the mental health one, how many were asking questions. And I just, that's my opinion, but if everybody else has a different opinion, that's fine.
Every opinion counts. Every opinion counts. Absolutely. Yes, I was thinking the same thing in terms of having them, because there's some other social workers that are in the community that are dealing with maybe another part of mental health that we may want them to come to our pre-meeting and give us some ways that we can be an assistant to them, you know, because something came out about Commissioner Frank talking to the chief of police in her report that she gave last time, talking about somebody riding with the individuals, the officers, to have an opportunity to see firsthand what's happening or even be an assistant to them, you know. And I think they used to do that more. And I think what she was explaining to Commissioner Harvette and me is that the money is not there now. That's not their desire not to be able to be there, but the funding is not there. So maybe that's something that we could think about, how we can tap them into some resources financially that may be able to help them, even in, you know, getting a grant from the governor or getting something, you know, a private grant. So that's something to think about. Okay, so we'll move on to the next part of our meeting, and that is the mayor is going to let us know about the meeting with our pre-meeting with her group, the Breakthrough Urban Ministries. So she's going to give us an update on that.
We're tentatively scheduled for the next HRC pre-meeting, but I set that for 5:30 p.m. So please mark that. I feel you're going to have so many questions and they're going to have a big presentation that I was a little fearful to do 6. So when I asked them, I told them that time, which is 4:30 their time, for that reason, because I am, you know, I want us to have ample time to ask questions. I don't want it to just be information thrown at us. I want us to be able to ask those questions and you know, and really have some great dialogue as well. So I did, when I tentatively scheduled that with her. The reason I say tentatively is because they have a board, and a lot of their board are working regular hour. You know, they sometimes these meetings are hard. So that's why there was some spring break issues this time around. So there's just been some hoops to jump through, but she thought they could do it. I just reconfirmed today, but she hadn't still heard from everyone, but she thought she had enough to still be able to do it because they wouldn't all have to be there. But she is supposed to in the next day or two to give me final word on that. If not, we'll shoot for another, but I'm really hoping for April. I really feel this is crucial and I'd really like to get it in. So if she can come, is everybody okay with that if we do that 5:30? I just wanted to give us time. Is that?
Yeah. And the date is our regular meeting?
April 27th, I do believe. 27th? Yes. Okay. So just so you know on that, but that's all I really have from her at this point. So I just wanted to give you a heads up on that. If that does happen, which fingers crossed it does, I'm really hopeful that it's going to, that we would be starting a little bit earlier on that one. I just felt sorry if I prematurely, and I mean, we could always change it. I just really thought,
yeah, we can.
With their presentation, we're a group that's going to have a lot of questions. So
yeah, but we can start at the 5:30 time. I think that's good. And if we don't need all that time, you know, we can always do like we've been doing, give a break. But I think, you know, it will be good to have the time set aside. So please put that on your calendar. That would be April the 27th at 5:30 instead of 6. And also the next event that we're working with the mayor is going to be talking about is the pastors community meeting with her. And we're all invited to participate in that if you would like. But she's going to give you more information. Mayor?
Yep, so that'll be, it's next Tuesday at noon. So yes, it's in the middle of the day, but that works better for the pastors. That Catherine can come from Community Mental Health, and that was why I was really trying to work it around her to make sure she can be there. And she's very excited about that and helping to spread the word through a different resource than she's had access to try to really get the word out for working with anyone that is in need of mental health services. So that will be next Tuesday. And, you know, during that time is when I hear different things. I asked everybody on the call if they have any concerns or anything that they're seeing in the community, because, you know, it's a different set of eyes. And a lot of times they see things that I'm not seeing or anybody else might not be seeing. And we learned some interesting, you know, it was very enlightening the last time. And so, but I'm hoping that this time, you know, that with this mental health piece to it too, that they will also, you know, get some more out of it. But I know they all learn from each other and like hearing what's going on and, you know, and just working together to make our community the best it can be. And I know that, you know, that's what everybody wants. So I'm really hoping that we can really spread the word even more about the services we do have here for substance abuse and all of the mental health services that are available. So I was really excited when Catherine jumped on from Community Mental Health to be willing to go out and speak to all of them. So
that's great. That's great. Absolutely. Anyone have any questions? So write that date down, and the time would be 12 noon. And that's next Tuesday. And it's only 1 hour. So if you can pop on, pop out, that would be good as well, so that you're part of it as much as possible. And if you have any pastors that you are interested in having them participate as well, I know the times are a little bit better than it was last year when we had it. But actually let the mayor know, because she's the one sending the invitation out. And so
I'm trying to reach out. I've been trying. Some of them are really hard to find. Their emails aren't necessarily on church websites, and
they're not always.
Sending in info things to like a church that I know that we haven't invited necessarily the people from. So I am trying to really get the word out there. So any, you know, group that that you know of, any church group, and, you know, let me know, because I really am trying to get that out there so that we can, especially because this meeting's so important with Catherine coming from Community Mental Health.
Yes, it's so important. And so what we will do is make sure that we get that information to the mayor as soon as possible so she can send the invitation out. Okay. Or if you want to contact the pastor and have him call me or call her, we will definitely figure out how to get them on. Okay. Some of them may not have the website, and some of them may not have an email. So I do know I've reached out to some that didn't have it. So we will be glad to make sure that they can participate and be a part of it. All right. Any other questions and concerns about what's set up for the next couple of months? We need to think about putting something in May, but we don't have to do that right now. We can see how the mayor makes out with Breakthrough Urban Ministries, because they may have to go into the May slot. And think about us having another town hall meeting. I know people are asking us to have another Bridging the Divide, and we can talk about other things other than what we talked about at the last one, but we definitely want to coordinate it around maybe possibly with the NAACP, because they are also doing that. And our MC last time, Judge Joe, he actually had the same kind of thing with his students. So he wasn't able to come and be with us last on the 18th because he was having his students meet with the police and community enforcement. So that's great. I'm just excited that it's spreading around. Any other comments or questions in that regard? Well, hearing none, we'll go to the Human Relations reports, concerns, and information. Do any of you have any concerns for the areas that we were dealing with. I know Commissioner Patton is not here tonight, but she has shared some information about the Share the Warmth. She's been talking with them, but we're not able to get there. I actually contacted both Share the Warmth, and they gave me some idea of things that they would like us to help them with, and it was paper products. The snow came, so I wasn't able to get it to them. Then they didn't need it. But I also, what's the food pantry on near you, Pastor Boone, Commissioner Boone? What's the name of that? The bread?
The Daily Bread.
Daily Bread. The Daily Bread, we have actually partnered with them. Our church has partnered with them to get them foods that they need when we can. We had a grant in our ministry for food supplies, and so we were able to not only give them chickens and other foods that we had stored to give out. They took all of it except the chickens. We passed those out, and we went back and got some more for him. So he doesn't have any room for any more right now. So he had hams and chickens, and we still have some turkeys if you know people that need them. And the Share the Warmth did not need any food at all. They didn't have any room to put the food. So I told them, well, whenever you need it, let me know, because we're even ordering what they want. We ordered some things that the Brit needed. And so I was really happy. So we're going to be able to work with them and help them in the community, because they not only feed people, but they also give out food. I didn't know they did both, but they do both. And I also talked to the priest at St. Mary's and St. Joe's. That's a family. It's called Family Ministry now. I think it's called Family Ministry now. They actually give out food. So we're going to work with them as many as we can. So that's my report. Does anyone else have anything else on?
Well, can I ask a question?
Sure.
Commissioner Boone, I wasn't able to go to the All About Adrian last meeting, but so I don't know if you discussed it, but I know ProMedica had come into a meeting at a few times ago and presented, about those community gardens over there on Erie Street. And I just didn't know if you were comfortable or not, but given a status report of where that's at, or if, is that going to be this year? Like, I wasn't actually sure the timeline on that and where that stands.
Absolutely. Yep. We're looking to kind of build some infrastructure this year, with hoping to launch the community garden next year. There's a few things we have to do to prep the grounds. And this summer, we're going to be working with ProMedica Farms to learn how to garden, how to harvest, how to plant. So we're going to be getting community members together to go out to ProMedica Farms for that. And then with the hope that we will have enough education underneath our belt that next year we can actually start the planting season. Habitat for Humanity has given us a lot on Erie Street, and we're looking to develop that land and kind of smooth it out. That's some more conversations that we're going to be having as well. And we also had a conversation as to how we're going to distribute the fresh produce throughout the community. How in putting together classes in the park with our videos as well, to teach people how to use those produce, how to plant them, how to harvest them, how to take seeds from them, and how to prepare them. So myself and Frank Nagel, we had conversations about that, and that was discussed at the A3 Coalition meeting, and we're hoping that that sometime next year we'll be able to launch it. But this year we should start seeing the prep work on those grounds to begin. So that's where we are with it so far.
Thanks. I didn't mean to throw you out there. I just really wanted to know about it, because I'm very excited about that. I just think it's a great opportunity. And I was so excited when Frank presented at that meeting. I've been very excited for this. So I just wanted to know where we were. So thanks.
Yeah, no problem.
So where is the location again?
This location will be on Erie Street between Center and South Tecumseh Street.
Okay. Okay. That's good. That's excellent.
I have a question. D'Angelo, what is the ProMedica farming? I'm not familiar with that.
ProMedica Farms is a kind of a garden site that they have right next to the hospital, where the new hospital is at. They have a hoop house there as well, and they're also planning for outside gardening as well. So, and they have it's located on site where you can come in and act and learn, and have meetings as well.
I didn't know.
It's a raised bed garden that they have within their hoop house, and so
nice.
It's pretty awesome.
Yeah,
that's wonderful.
Thank you.
Sounds like Adrian and Lenawee County is moving up. Feed everybody, huh? Especially with fresh produce. That's wonderful. Yes. So is there anyone else would like to share any more on that subject? Okay, if not, is there any other reports that anyone would like to give at this time?
I have just a quick update on, I sent out the information to my Kalamazoo contact about just kind of linking the cities, because we are so similar and we face some of the same struggles, and we have counterparts there that are doing similar things. So I sent out information from Chief Emmerich. He said I could do that and maybe get in contact with someone from their police department. I sent out the mayor's information to their deputy city manager, and Elizabeth Salerno said that she'd like to get in contact with their continuum of care director, just to kind of see how they built bridges between their continuum of care and their city administration. Just seeing how they kind of work together and feed off of each other and support each other in that way. Let's see.
Okay, so the specific areas that they are dealing with is with the homeless. Population. We lost you.
Yeah. Can you hear me now? Yeah, the homeless population specifically is what they were going to talk about. And then when I was working, I did a couple of shifts at the vaccine clinic last week, and I gave my card to I think she does like the outreach and that kind of stuff at the health department, because I didn't know if there was some kind of information that we could help people get registered for their vaccines within that homeless population, because they are qualified now, and a lot of them are older, but they're qualified anyway. So just finding ways to get them registered, get them there, let them know that they're qualified, because if they don't have access to the internet on a regular basis, that's the only way I get updates is through email. So I don't know if maybe having cards that the police department can hand out, or the city workers when they encounter them, like that kind of thing. So I gave her that card.
Ashley, I know too that they, since I'm on that Migrant Resource Council, that they've also had the same problem, because they don't have internet and access to that as well. So what they've even done is like brought in like a volunteer group that will bring in maybe a couple iPads, and they have a hotspot, and they try to get them in and get, for the one, because it's a little different with them, because now they are moved up on the priority because of being agricultural workers that moved up on that priority. So they've been able to start scheduling them, but that's how they did it. So it's just a way to think outside the box. Maybe that's how we look at it. We get some volunteers to just like, maybe sit outside in a tent at some location and say, this is when you can, you want to sign up for the vaccine. We will help you, we'll assist you. And I don't know, it's just a thought, because I do know that that's how we had to do it in their situation for the same reasons. Yeah. So.
Well, one of the other things that I know happened last week is the high rise. They went to the high rise. So the health department is probably the one to contact to see if they are willing to set something up. And we would maybe, we can probably volunteer to assist if they need that help. but they did actually vaccinate. I think I was told about 90 some people at the high rise, one of the high rise.
I have a call at 10 a.m. tomorrow with the county health department. I have it bi-weekly with the governor's office and the county health department. So I'm actually going to bring this up because that's how bridge that gap when it came to the migrant workers before. So I'm going to bring this up as well tomorrow in that meeting and try to get some answers. Okay.
Thank you, Mayor. We really appreciate that. And thank you, Commissioner Frank, for bringing that to our attention. And so while you're connecting with the other community and giving resources, and they're giving us information as well, please let us know what, share with us, I should say. Share with us some of the things that they're doing, and then we can forward to some of the commissioners just by email and let them know what's happening, okay? I appreciate that. Does anyone else have anything that they would like to share before we open it up for public comment? Oh, before we do the public comment, I want the next planning of the next town hall meeting. So is there no other comments on our?
Well, just one comment I have, sorry, I'm talking a lot tonight. It was just that a few of us were talking and honestly, I just don't want people to, I don't want this to sound like I'm trying to rush us through or to say that I want us to have all the time we want, but sometimes I'm also trying to be respectful of everyone's time. And a lot of times, if it's like a presenter or a special topic, we could throw in pre-meeting, but honestly, we could actually do a lot of this in the regular meeting. You know, sometimes it's repetitive. So I just want to throw that out there, like that we don't really have to, we're allowed to talk and have commission reports. I mean, obviously that's in, that's in our regular meeting. So we could it just seems like sometimes that it's just the same thing over again when we get to that 7 o'clock meeting, not always at our regular meeting, but sometimes. And I just wanted to throw that out there for discussion. Like, how do you feel about that? Like the next one, that's going to be different. We're going to, that'll be dedicated just to that speaker and all that. And then we'll have to do everything at the regular meeting anyways. But I just want to be respectful of everyone's time that's on the Human Relations Commission as well. And, and I just don't want to be saying the same thing. It's just my personal opinion. And I'm just trying to help us be a little bit, more respectful of that time, I guess. And I don't know how everybody else feels about that, but I just think that the pre-meetings are really, if it's a special topic that we're not going to talk about, I mean, we might touch on it in a regular meeting, but like just at the city commission level, that's what we do. We talk about pre-meeting things or things we're not actually going to talk about in a regular meeting, because we can't necessarily, we can during commissioner comments, but we can't really have like a full discussion like we would. But it's usually not things that are going to be in the regular meeting. That's why we're discussing them in the pre-meeting. It's very rare, once in a blue moon, it is something that's still going to be in the regular meeting. But, I just love to have, like you said, we have these resources, more people that want to come talk to us about mental health. And, maybe it's the Kalamazoo group and that Commissioner Frank has made the connection with. And I would love to see that pre-meeting time be like about growing us and expanding and enlightening us and having great discussion and where do we go from here? And then the regular meetings more the business. I'm just throwing it out there, and I just kind of wanted to have a discussion about that.
Anyone else have comments about that? Would you like to see us to do that? Because it'd be easy to do if we just take out the commissioners' updates and put them in the into the business meeting where we can vote on, and just leave our discussion to the planning of the town halls or the pre-meetings. We can do that. That would be easier. I think we can actually, if we don't have a speaker, we actually probably can handle it all in a half an hour rather than an entire hour, because our time right now, we're all the way to the planning of the town meeting. And we've already discussed a little bit of that. What we've got to wait until we see about the group, the Breakthrough Urban Ministries, if they're going to be a part of our discussion on next month or the month after that. So we can plan and talk about it. And if we want to wait until next month to decide whether we want to have another town hall meeting in May or June, let me know if that's what you would like to do. This is the time to talk about it.
Haven't we done it like every 3 months or so, usually, like a town hall?
It ended up, this is the second town hall. This is the second town hall. The first one we did in January. But we did the Bridging the Divide, which was set up like a town hall, but it really wasn't called the town hall.
Right.
So we've had 2 with Judge
I'd like
Joe.
to see us go to like June, like go into the beginning of summer. Personally, I feel like May might be rushing it for us to get it all together, whatever we decide we're gonna do. But I feel like there's so many ways we could go with that town hall. I just still feel like so much that we are trying to accomplish and go after. And I feel like there's a lot of different ways. And like I said, you know, there's housing help. There's so many different ways we can go with that, with those town halls. But I just feel like June maybe possibly, because I feel like when we start to get to end of May, people get all like mid-May to end of May. I don't know. I just feel like we lose people. For some reason, they revive it in June. I feel like people get excited for summer and they all get busy or something. I don't know. I have a struggle always getting stuff planned in May with people. So.
Well, it's harder because both colleges have their graduations, and then the students from high schools are graduating and having different things. They have their prom, they have their sports events ending. So the end of June is perfect because they're out of school by then. So if we want to plan something for June would be perfect, because by that time we will know, even in the pre-meeting, whether or not the information that we receive from the urban Breakthrough Urban Ministries will help propel us into a particular one. I do believe that we do need to do the housing one that we weren't able to do, and because that does affect a lot of the people that are homeless, and more people are losing their homes now, maybe not particularly in Adrian, but more people are facing that. You know, some people are being evicted now. You know, I've had several to communicate with me about being evicted. So it's really important that we try to do something around housing. But again, it's up to us to decide if that's the direction we want to go, and then we can work on having something put together for the next meeting, which would be May. If we have our speaker come in April, we can plan it in May and then have it in June. Is that something that you all are interested in doing?
A couple quick thoughts I have on it is, I think it might be good to indeed push to June, but also I'm going to try to reach out to not First Federal, Premier now, Premier. The ones that did the home ownership seminar, and see how things have progressed from the last time. Because last time I spoke to them, they were not doing Zoom at all. Nope, not at all. To the extent that they had actually turned off someone's computer to remove it. So I don't know how things have changed now, and maybe they'll be willing to use Google Meet, or maybe they have something specific. I'll talk to them. I'll see if I can reach out to a couple other places. I'm not sure when any of this could be set up. This probably shouldn't be planned to be the June thing by any means, but I will see if I can reach out to some of them.
Well, I have another realtor that she hooks up with several different banks, maybe we need to look at getting a realtor to come in and talk to us and about the programs that they help their people to get into housing. So maybe not just Premier, because we allowed them to come be our first one, but we had a couple others that were interested in coming that actually can assist. So if you work on that and give us a report back.
A couple of them that I want to reach out to. The part why I want to get a hold of Premier is because they have the home ownership seminar, which is how I got the house that I'm living in now, so that I'm not homeless like I spent months being. But also, I'm going to see if I can get in contact with any of the Housing First organizations.
Okay, that's wonderful.
This might take me a little while, and feel free to work on some other things for the June or whatever other events we do in the meantime. But also, as far as when we have guest speakers, I think it would probably be better to push them, if we can, into the main meeting. A lot of people in my experience don't really come to the pre-meetings. Nowadays, they have a little better idea that they exist, but for a long time, people didn't know they existed. And a lot of people tend to have an issue. In my experience, the people I try to pull into these have some issue at the 5:30, 6 o'clock area. So not necessarily for every speaker, but I think some speakers, it would be better if we could put them into our regular meeting time.
And we used to do that when it was like somebody just presenting a little, like a little bit about a service that is available in, the city. Some of you were on the commission at that point, because I was in the public sitting there at those meetings. That's why I remember that we did have people coming in and presenting about a service that's available, like, something that wasn't too, where it wasn't going to necessarily be like a full discussion with a lot of questions. Like, might have been a few, but I agree, because that was actually really, that really brought some life to those meetings. I always looked forward to those where I knew we were going to have somebody like that coming in too.
Yep. And Socorro expressed some
anyone else
and possibly back in, and I pulled D'Angelo into one of them.
Okay, that's good discussion. Anyone else would like to say something before I say?
Talking back about pushing the stuff until June. For me personally, just because obviously I'm a senior this year and graduating from Siena.
Oh,
yeah. So May is like a very hectic month for me, trying to get graduation stuff all set up and everything. So pushing it until June would work perfect for me, because obviously, like I said, it's very hectic during the month of May, for at least for me as a senior. So
it is for the community, it really is. Yeah. So okay, take that to anyone else. Okay, it sounds like we want to try to do a town hall in June instead of trying to push it in May. And I think that's a really wise decision to do. So we have 2 topics that we're going to look at. One is going to be housing, and I guess is not in that housing would not only be the banks, but also probably renting property as well. We probably need to look into that, because when we're talking about people that are homeless, they're dealing with both. Maybe they can get a house, maybe they can't. Renting, some of the things have changed because of COVID. A lot of people are having different experiences with getting housing. So that may be, and then the other one is bridging the divide, police encounters, and also helping to bring more knowledge to people about what the police is doing and not doing, and what they can do and what they're facing and what we're facing dealing with them, or the people that are in our community. And by that time, probably we will have a different kind of effect by how people are responding to the ordinances in our community. So we will have more information.
Other piece to that housing though as well. I feel like we could really do a really great town hall if you had maybe, you know, the banks coming in and talking about the programs, you know, a realtor or two that's involved, but honestly, a lawyer like that deals because tenants' rights. I know that I've actually discussed that with somebody that's on this commission that actually experienced it themselves many years ago with a landlord that that they were afraid to say the deplorable conditions because they were afraid of their rent getting jacked up or them getting evicted and just tenants' rights. And I think that's actually a big problem as well in our area, not knowing their rights and I don't want to say bullied, but yeah, being bullied by landlords. And I think that is another issue that is going on as well.
You're absolutely right. We do hear a lot about that. Most of the time people go to the NAACP with those kinds of issues, but we definitely need to bring the awareness to our community and bring people in. So that's a nice group. So if we don't do whichever one we decide we want to do, let's vote on it at the next meeting. And so we're talking about bridging the divide, which is law enforcement in the community and or housing, and which would include the banks, the realtors, tenants' rights, and rental properties. So if there's some other area around housing and you all want us to consider, please send that to me and send it to the mayor, okay? All right, so we have about a few more minutes before we end our session. And at this time, I'm gonna open it up for public comment. Is there anyone on that would like to speak?
Madam Chairman, I'd like to make some comments, if I could, please.
Yes, you may.
Thank you. With regard to the housing, the presentation, shame on you, Mayor Heath, for not thinking about the city attorney's presentation on blight remediation, which maybe could be included as part of that or something separate. And to your point, Chairman Bernard, you're right. A lot of people who have tenant rights problems do go to the NAACP, but not everyone who does is a person or people who have the problem aren't necessarily people of color. So they need to know what their rights are as well, because. I'll probably have some other comments at the end of the other meeting, maybe not. But I do want to put on my city commission hat. And I spoke to the mayor about this last night. The commission met to discuss the 21-22 fiscal year budget, which begins in July. I was distressed over the fact that the Human Relations Commission had only requested $1,500 for the entire fiscal year next year. And that bothers me from the standpoint that it makes me think that you're nearly not going to do anything. And I know that's not true, but that's what the city administrator has in the budget for the Human Relations Commission next year is $1,500. And I'm going to tell you as a commissioner, I don't think that's near enough for you all to do the things that we want you to do for this city. So throw that out there. Perhaps the mayor can use her powers of persuasion. If you all get together and think maybe you need a little bit more than that, with the budget isn't finalized. Last night was just a preliminary pass, but yeah, I think you need more. That's just my opinion.
I can address some of it, but I would like to hear from the mayor before I say something.
I do know one of the questions that you had asked, by the way, is that original amount of money that was donated. I think it was First Federal that donated it, if I'm correct, which bank it was.
First Federal.
Yeah.
First Federal.
There is $400 left in that. That was actually in that budget meeting last night. So there is some money left on that as well, just so you are aware, because I know you were asking and I hadn't gotten the answer yet until last night in that meeting. So I didn't know if you had met with our, director of finance and the city administrator, because I know I had put you and Commissioner Boone in touch with them, Commissioner Bernard. So I didn't know where that figure came from. And I was told it was an agreement, and I didn't know where it came from, because I knew that I had put you guys in touch with them. So.
Well, that is one of the reasons why, I think they set the budget themselves. I don't know who it particularly did, but Commissioner Boone and I have not met with the city on a budget. We submitted the budget that we had from last year in January. So the only thing that we're waiting for is to meet with him. So if it's not final, then we definitely have not given all of the areas that we would like to work with, because we received a grant and that $400, I didn't even know we had $400 left. So if we can meet with the city, and I will call again and leave my information, and hopefully we can get that. When is it supposed to be final?
We will finalize it completely. It's like in May, the very beginning of May, first meeting of May, I believe. Okay. What I will do is I will actually do an email chain that I'm included in with the both of you and the both of them, so that, and I will just say, let's have a meeting, and I will put myself in there so that we can get a meeting. To the five of us can all get together and sit down and discuss that. How does that sound?
Well, the other part of it is that we have not, as a group, made a decision as to what we are actually going to be spending money on. So as a group, we need to do that first before we finalize. I do want to meet with them and have an understanding as to what they want us to present to them, other than what we already did present. So I don't want to say what we can have or not have just to have money in there, but we do need to say what we are going to be doing and what we would like to have happen and what the city is willing to give us. And if the city does not give us money, do we have to go out and solicit some support somewhere else? So thank you, Commissioner, for sharing that with me.
Well, yeah, and obviously I do want to tell you what to do, but I don't want to tell you what to do. You don't have a lot of time.
Share your thoughts.
Yeah, well, I'll share. Exactly. I'm sharing my thoughts. You don't have a whole lot of time. The mayor is correct, because the budget will not be finalized until the first part of May. However, there will be a public hearing on the budget during the month of April. And the numbers have got to be final before we have a public hearing. So I
think that'll be the last that I knew. That hasn't been announced yet, but I do believe that'll be Monday, April 19th.
Okay, so there's that. Okay, other subject, and then I'll shut up so you can have your next meeting. On the topic of the vaccinations for the homeless and the migrants and everything, and I know, thank you, Chairman Bernard, for the comments about the high rise last weekend. I know a lady that I saw today who got her vaccination, and one of the things I think that they're doing really a smart thing and would probably work best, in my opinion, for the homeless, is they're using the Johnson & Johnson vaccine, which only requires one shot. So if you get them there once, it's taken care of, as opposed to having to find them again and get them a second shot. So I don't know, that's a question, I guess, for the health department. And Mayor, you said you were going to talk to them tomorrow, but I think there are certain segments of the population that would benefit by going the one-shot route. Thank you.
I will bring that up tomorrow in my meeting as well.
Thank you so much.
And I will update everyone as soon as I get information on that tomorrow. I will be sending an email to all the HRC commissioners as soon as I get info on that, so that you can please pass that along so we can make sure and really reach everyone. Okay.
Okay. All righty. Are there any more public comments?
I have a public comment.
Yes.
Michelle. Just a couple things. One, the video from the forum, the mental health forum, that one is on my laptop, because when we did that meeting, it saved to my laptop instead of the cloud like it normally does. So I've been trying to upload it from my laptop, but my internet is not great at home and it won't upload to YouTube. So I'll take that in tomorrow and get it done at work using our Wi-Fi there and send you guys all the you have it.
Thank you. We appreciate that so much.
And then on the budget, I sent a note out in the chat that we're actually setting the public hearing for the budget on this coming Monday. So you probably want to have that meeting with the administrators sooner rather than later. We'll have a draft budget that will be available on the website for the public to view. So any changes, and it'll still change obviously a little bit before the actual public hearing, but we'll want to have that as correct as
the change.
Public to view.
All right, Mayor. You will be working on that this week, I'm sure. Okay. All right. Any other public comments?
Hi, I'm Elizabeth Salerno from Housing Help of Lenawee. I just want to say really quick, I know Ms. Commissioner Ramos had mentioned the Housing First agencies. So Housing Help of Lenawee is that central housing agency for Lenawee County. So we have Housing First programs and such. So just anything around housing, we'd be more than happy to participate with that. I do want to share with you guys as well, we have a grant for $1.8 million at our agency right now for rental assistance. So just so that you guys are aware of that, that's available in our community right now. We're partnering with Community Action Agency. They're going to help with providing the utility assistance, but I don't know that Lenawee County has ever gotten millions of dollars for rental assistance, at least not in the 15 years I've been doing this. So, and that's only half of the money we're getting. So just to let you guys know.
Well, we need to be in touch with you for real. Yes. Thank you so much for that comment. Okay. If no other public comments, do we have commissioner comments? Okay, hearing none.
No, well, actually,
Oh, I'm sorry, me. Commissioner Wright. I see.
I'm glad Elizabeth spoke up, because I was going to bring her up for the housing thing. So I am in touch with her. So that's a link that we already have there. So I will stay in touch. Also, I think some things have been getting lost in communication. So between our commission and the city itself. So if one of us is trying to contact with the city, maybe we should CC a couple other commissioners on it, or a couple other HRC commissioners, just so we know, if one person doesn't get back or the email chain goes cold, someone else can follow up, because I know that's kind of happened with some other things. So if one of us bothering them and getting information doesn't work, someone else can hop in and do it and get the information we need.
Well, I think the officers should be the ones that people would contact. Me, the vice chair, and the secretary, and the secretary pro tem. So if there's anything that anyone would like to communicate with us, please do that. Absolutely have the mayor. She is the top person that you can communicate with. So some things may have gotten or did not get addressed. We will work on that, okay? And did someone else have a comment?
Yes, I have a quick comment, semi-question, aimed at both Ashley and Elizabeth. May I have that email to get into contact with Elizabeth? Do I have Elizabeth's consent?
Yeah, I'm more than happy to have any of you can contact me via email or my phone number. I can put it in the chat if you'd like.
Can you put it in the chat for us? We'd appreciate it.
Thank you.
Okay. Thank you. Is there any other commissioner comments? Hearing none, we will close the meeting, adjourn. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
7:03 p.m. All right. Well, we will open up our new meeting. Thank you, Elizabeth. We appreciate that. All right, I'd like to call our regular meeting to order. Or do you all need a 5-minute break?
I need a 5-minute break to switch my...
I can't hear you. All right, let's take a 3-minute break and come back at 5 after. Okay, is that all right, everyone?
Sure.
Okay. No, I got a break. We just broke.
We can hear you, Commissioner Bernard.
If everyone to get back on.
Sorry, I just needed a second because I type while we're talking, so I needed to switch from pre-meeting to meeting document.
Okay. We're just waiting for the others to come back on, and we will open the meeting.
I'm back. My camera just won't turn back on for some odd reason.
Okay. All right. All right.
I've had a similar thing happen before. Zoom gets funny sometimes.
No, I clicked start video and nothing's happening.
Okay, it looks like the majority of us are back. So we're going to open the meeting for the Human Relations Commission, March 23rd, 2021. It's our regular meeting, and we'd like to stand for the Pledge of Allegiance and a moment of silence. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, we'll start with the roll call from our Secretary Pro Tem. We can't hear you.
How about now? Now?
It's better, yes.
This was a free laptop, I can't complain. Okay.
Okay.
Mayor Heath.
Present.
Commissioner Bernard.
Present, we can hardly hear you.
Commissioner Ramos. Present.
Present.
Commissioner Patton is absent. Commissioner Frank is present. Commissioner Boone.
Present.
Commissioner Barron.
Present.
Commissioner Carter.
Present.
Commissioner Harvett.
Present.
Thank you. All right, approval of the minutes. Everyone had a chance to read their minutes for the pre-meeting and also for the regular meeting. And I'd like approval for first the pre-meeting minutes. I need a motion.
I motion to approve.
I second Commissioner Harvett.
All right, I have a motion and a second for the approval of the minutes for the pre-meeting of February. Ready for the question? Roll call, please. Can't hear you.
How about now? No?
Yeah, now. Yes.
All right. Mayor Heath.
Present.
Commissioner Bernard.
Yes.
Commissioner Ramos.
Yes.
Commissioner Frank. Yes. Boone.
Yes.
Commissioner Barron.
Yes.
Commissioner Carter.
Yes.
Commissioner Harvett.
Yes.
Vote is unanimous. All right. The minutes for our regular meeting. I need a motion to approve with necessary corrections.
I motion to approve the minutes with necessary corrections.
Commissioner second. I second.
Who is the second?
Either me or someone else.
Okay,
Commissioner Ramos.
Commissioner Ramos. Okay. All right. Roll call vote.
Corrections, Mayor Heath.
We can't hear you.
All right. Am I working now? No.
Yep.
Yes.
All right. Motion to approve with necessary corrections, Mayor Heath.
Yes.
Going in and out again.
Commissioner Bernard.
Yes.
Commissioner Ramos.
Yes.
Commissioner Frank. Yes. Commissioner Boone.
Yes.
Commissioner Barron.
Yes.
Commissioner Carter.
Yes.
Commissioner Harvick.
Yes.
Unanimous vote. All right. Any additions to the regular agenda? Hearing none, we will go on with our meeting. So we need approval for the regular agenda minute. Need a motion to approve the agenda.
Commissioner Harvat, I approved it. I move that we approve the agenda, regular agenda.
Commissioner Boone, I second.
Okay. All right. Roll call vote.
Working? How about now? Second try? Second try. Yes. Okay. Mayor Heath.
Yes.
Can't hear you.
Bernard.
Yes.
Commissioner Ramos.
Yes.
Yes.
Commissioner Frank. Yes. Commissioner Boone. Commissioner Barron.
Yes.
Can't hear you.
Commissioner Carter.
Yes.
Commissioner Harvat.
Yes.
We have whiteboard to hold up.
Is that a unanimous vote? Okay. All right. So we're going to get started with our meeting. We are talking about old business, which is the current HRC issues updates. The discussion that we had would be around the meeting that we had on March the 18th, which was our town hall meeting. And we are just asking that our commissioners, if you would like to speak on that. I know we spoke in the pre-meeting and you don't have to say the exact same thing. So we would just like to hear comments from whoever would like to speak on it.
Commissioner Boone, my thoughts was just that the opportunity for collaboration I thought was positive, and to learn some information that we could make available to the community that they may not have been aware of. So it was an educational opportunity for me, and just to see that opportunity for collaboration, and assume that the CMH was really willing to partner with other organizations and individuals to get this information out and to find better ways to advertise it and to get information to the community.
Okay. Anyone else? Well, I would just like to say that it went very well. We had a nice group of people that were in attendance to it. Some said that they're sorry that they missed it and they want to know if we could have something like that in the future. So we will just say we thank our executive director of the mental health department who came on and brought her crew, and they just did an excellent job. We'd like to say to the mayor, we'd like to send out a letter. I think we need to plan to have letters for those that participate in our activities, to send them a letter of thank you to them, stating that we appreciate what they have done and how they presented it, and the feedback that we've received thus far was very well. So we just appreciate the town hall and the excitement that it gathered, and we're just going to keep working towards having more town halls when we can. So we just like to say thank you again to the executive director and her staff in their presentation. Is there anyone else who would like to make a comment on that? If not, we'll move on to the next subject, and that is planning for the next town hall meeting. We are going to work on planning to have something in the housing area, which will be dealing with, we hopefully will have the banks to participate, some of the realtors to participate, tenants' rights, rental properties, and I heard someone mention blight in our community. So those are areas that we would like to have a town hall around. We're going to plan it for our next meeting, in our next meeting. So bring your ideas and bring your concerns and bring your comments with you. The other area that we are considering is the Bridging the Divide, having a second Bridging the Divide town hall meeting. And we'd like to center that around, again, law enforcement in our community. So we are so grateful for the connections that we have at this time with the law enforcement and how they have handled the people in our community that are homeless, and how we've received reports that they are trying their best to be of assistance and not give out a lot of violations. So we are really grateful for those reports that we've been getting. And we appreciate our chief and our sheriff, and also our other law enforcement agents in the community, our officers, and those that are interacting with the community. So we just like to say a thank you to them for making it safe and keeping us safe. So does anyone else have any comments about what we're going to be working on for planning the next town hall? We did say we wanted to wait until June to have that. So our June date we'll put out at the next meeting to give you a couple of options, and we can make some headway by voting on what we actually would like to do, which area we'd like to have our next town hall in, okay? The other part of our information is the mayor is going to be having one of her co-workers, previous co-workers, I should say, from Chicago to come, Breakthrough Urban Ministries, to come and be our speaker on our pre-meeting in April. And we're going to vote on having the meeting start at 5:30 instead of the pre-meeting starting at 5:30 instead of 6 o'clock. So I'd like at this time to have a motion for us to start our pre-meeting in April at 5:30, and we'll go to 7 o'clock.
I motion to set the pre-meeting to 5:30 for our next pre-meeting.
Commissioner Boone, I second.
Okay, we have a second and a motion in order for us to have our meeting at 5:30 p.m. on April the 27th. And we need a roll call vote.
Working now? How about now?
You're really hard to hear.
Is it working now?
If you just talk really loud, we can hear you.
Okay, I will just yell in my apartment for myself.
That's good. Okay.
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 Mayor Heath.
Yes.
Commissioner Bernard.
Yes.
Commissioner Ramos.
Yes.
Commissioner Frank. Yes. Commissioner Boone.
Yes.
Commissioner Barron.
Yes.
Commissioner Carter.
Yes.
Commissioner Harvat.
Yes.
Right, unanimously passed.
So I'm hearing a unanimous vote. Thank you. So we will plan to have our pre-meeting on April the 27th at 5:30, and we have voted that in. The other area that we're considering, or the mayor is considering, is that she's going to, on March the 30th, meet with the mayor. The mayor will meet with the community of pastors and leaders, and that will be the 30th at 12 noon, and that's next Tuesday. So all of us are invited to participate. If you have a pastor or a minister that would like to participate and be a part of that meeting with the mayor, it's meeting and prayer with the mayor. Please let the mayor know. She will be sending the invitations out, and you need to give it to her as soon as possible. All right. Other comments on our HRC issues updates? Do you have any other comments that you'd like us to talk about on our updates on areas that we've been working on? The homeless, the mental health we have already discussed, the policing we've discussed, and are trying to reach out and do some things in the area of housing.
I did have something that you kind of touched on a little bit, and I brought it up in my other meeting, or in our last meeting, but it probably got overshadowed by everything else I said because I talked a whole lot. It was about, you mentioned thank yous for people that participate in our forums and our town halls, which I think that's a great idea. And I think that would definitely be something that we could just have, like a thank you. Or I had mentioned, like, when we get reports, because we get reports for the good and the not so good, but when we get reports about, I don't know, a really good officer interaction or something like that, like if we could recognize that and kind of like affirm that kind of behavior, I think that might be something that we could do positively. If it like a actual physical card that they could have on their desk or their locker or something like that, where they feel like they got recognized for doing something, because we do have a really good, compassionate police force, which if you look at all of the news, that's not like, we are so lucky to have the chief that we have that builds the culture within that department, right? So we're not going to have chief forever, so we need to do things to affirm and make sure that as a city we have that expectation for our police force, even when we don't have chief anymore. So that was just something I wanted to bring up. Maybe if we just have generic thank you cards that we can, from the HRC themselves, like recognizing great human behavior kind of a thing.
Mayor, I'd like to ask the question, do we have any cards at all, the city, with the city logo on it?
We have, no, because I have like a letterhead that I had to ask for. I don't know. Michelle, do we? Michelle's
do. Yeah, I have some in my office. I think I have like maybe 1 or 2 boxes left. So there should be plenty that you could use. They're like greeting card size, and they have the city seal on the front.
That's perfect.
Right, so what we will ask, if there's something that you could share with our secretary and our secretary pro tem, if they could come by and pick some up, and then we can actually send it out to the individuals that are doing good. And we will decide in our meetings who would get them, right? Is that what we're saying? That we would, as a group, make a decision who would actually receive the cards. And even a letter, I think, should go out to Mayor, for the people that participate in our forums and our discussions, the town hall meetings and that. So that is a great idea. So do we have someone that will put that in a motion form so that we can all agree on that? Can't hear you.
Hi, is it working now? Yes.
No.
Okay. So you need, like, I
need a motion to.
I propose a motion that we have HRC cards from this, or with the city letterhead, to send out to participants of our forums and to recognize exceptional work within the city, that kind of thing.
Excellent. Yes. I need a second.
Commissioner Harvett, I second.
Commissioner Harvett. Okay.
Yes, I second.
All right. A motion to have cards and also letterheads from the HRC to deserving individuals and those that participate in our forums, in our discussions, and as leaders. So we're ready for the vote, and a roll call, please.
Now, there we go.
Yes.
All right.
We didn't hear you.
I think you did. Yes.
Commissioner Bernard.
Yes.
Commissioner Ramos.
Yes.
Frank. Yes. Commissioner Boone.
Yes.
Commissioner Barron.
Yes.
Commissioner Carter.
Yes.
Commissioner Harvett.
Yes.
So a unanimous vote. Thank you so much. That is something that we will get put into our process, and we say thank you. And so that's another item we can talk about spending money on, huh?
And our city hall the city hall is open now. So if you want to come in, you can. We have the back entrance open right now, not the front, but just so you are aware to come pick those up for Michelle.
So Commissioner Frank, you're willing to pick those up for us, and then when we vote, and we can decide which individuals will get that. But the letterhead, we will do that officially to send to the people that participate in the forum, right? And the discussions that we have. Okay. All right. Thank you so much. We appreciate that. Thank you, Mayor. And thank you, Michelle, for having them. I thought I had seen something before. All right, our next order of business, we will talk about the town hall later, and now I will open it up for public comment. And your comments will be limited to 5 minutes. Do I have anyone that's interested in speaking? Well, hearing no comments, I open it up for commissioner comments.
Well, I do have a question.
Yes.
In the pre-meeting, we discussed the budget. I was looking at an email of a budget. I don't know if that's a 2020, 2021 budget of 6,700, or was
you're going in and out?
Okay.
You're off. Okay.
All right. I was looking at a email of a commission of our budget, and I don't know if this was a last year's budget to the end of this year, or into July of this year, or if that's something that we voted on to.
It was.
Yep. So it was out for 6,700. So I don't know if that was an amount that we were looking to take to the city, or something we were going to discuss at another meeting.
Okay, you faded away at the end.
I didn't know if that was an amount that we were going to discuss, to take to the city as a budget, as a proposed budget for this year, or something that we were, or is it something that was for last year?
I think what you and I and the mayor will have to do is get together and figure out which one it is, because we did have a budget 2 years ago almost now that we presented. Actually, it was last year. I'm sorry. It was last year that we presented in January, but when the pandemic came in, we didn't have to use that money and we didn't get a response on our budget change. So what we did was resubmit to the city the same budget that we had the year before. So what we are asking is, what is it that we want to present to them? But we would have to meet with the budget facilitators and also with the mayor, those that are dealing with the budget. And so you and I would have to meet with them. So if you have some time available this week, then the mayor and I and you can get together and set up a time. If you have maybe 5 minutes after we get off of the commission meeting, and I will contact you, and then we can decide, okay, to meet so that we can get that taken care of, because I got to see which one you're talking about. I know we didn't have that much. We didn't have $6,000 ever in our budget. We did have $3,000 that was given to us 3 years ago. So we really need to think about what we want to do. So that's something that we can plan for, okay?
Okay.
Mayor, is that good for you, 5 minutes after the meeting?
Yes, that's fine.
Okay, all right. Okay, any other comments from commissioners? Okay, hearing no other comments, we go to announcements. Is there any announcements that we would like to speak on? Well, we did have one, Mayor. You were not here last meeting because of business and being out of town, and we were celebrating Commissioner Boone for his award that he received for the Martin Luther King. And he was supposed to bring his award. Did you do that? Don't be laughing.
Proudly on my wall at Habitat for Humanity.
I'll tell you what you need to do. Take a picture of it and send it to us so we can see it, okay?
Absolutely, absolutely.
Okay, so, but we still want to, again, congratulate you on your award. And that is a great accomplishment in this community. That's something that only usually 1 or 2 people get it per year. But we are so very thankful for you being a part of this community and what you do in this community. And I just like to blow that horn for you, okay?
Thank you.
All right, Mayor, did you want to say anything else?
No, I'd already put him out there on blast. I had already been.
Oh, yeah. All right.
But congrats.
I also like to say that we received, in the community, we received for Black History Month, we received a proclamation from the governor's office and our representatives for Black History Month. And I'm not sure if they sent one to the NAACP. They usually do. We didn't get a chance to talk to the mayor's office because you all were closed at that time.
No, we did a proclamation in our city commission meeting. And I actually am trying to get it to Jeanette. So yes. So
okay, well, Together We Stand is 2 different ones. Together We Stand and then the NAACP. Together We Stand is a community event as well. So we're just really happy that that took place, that we had a chance to do that. And we have to think about this month is, month of March is Women's Month. And remember to think about what women have to go through in a lot of areas. So those are my announcements. Does anyone else have anything to say?
Just quickly.
Yes, go ahead.
Just quickly, just to invite everyone that is available and free, the A3 All About Aging Resident Coalition has our next meeting the second Sunday of every month. Our next meeting is the second Sunday of April, which I think is April 14th. And is at 2 p.m. is in person with a limited capacity and is also on Zoom. So I can make that information available if anyone is up for attending that meeting.
Okay, can you send us the Zoom connection in case we can't get there?
Yes.
To the commissioners? I appreciate that. Okay, so
and
that would be
April 11th.
April 11th. Okay, thank you.
Yep.
April the 11th. Okay. And it's at what time?
That's at 2 p.m.
2 p.m. Okay.
And if anyone is free, we also do Second Fridays, which used to be in person, but now it's on Facebook Live. And if you also would like to be part of the Zoom audience for Second Fridays, which is a kind of an open mic event, and we've had some pretty awesome ones in the last couple months. But if you'd like to be a part of that Zoom audience, you can, or you can watch on Facebook and be a part of that audience. And I can get that Zoom link out to everyone as well.
Yes, please do that.
That would be good.
Okay.
Last week we had about 599 viewers that watched.
Oh.
So, yeah.
That's wonderful. Okay, anything else? Announcements?
I would just like to briefly continue on the intros. It's exciting. I definitely recommend being at both of them if you have the time. I know I will. And Second Fridays gets a little bit longer every time. It's really exciting.
Okay, good. Good to hear. Okay, so we will close out the meeting, open adjournment. In favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Aye.
All right, we're closing out our meeting at 7:40. Thank you so much, everyone. Stay safe.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Michelle, can we stay on for a couple minutes, the three of us, but can you just stop recording too?
Yeah, I'm going to leave it on, but I'll stop it.
I do that.
I can.
I did.